Stormrook. This is another level that has a very pretty element to it. Unfortunately, it does not come in the form of half-naked women. In fact, this game is pretty cruel to the opposite sex. You have the hag bitch in level 3, and then you have the half-naked ice chick. And I don't believe there's anything other than that. It's very disappointing to me. But this level might as well have been the final level, because it's significantly harder than either of the final levels, in my opinion. You run back into these fine gentlemen again, and they're just as gay as they were previously. I mean, they're just as erect, and they're just as content to run at you with it pointed out, just like an Andor. This is also a level in which flying is generally a bad idea. Going slow, taking your time, that is how you get through this area without getting too fucked up. You'll run into some trippy shit here. Like those butterflies again. Which for some reason reminds me of Mushroom Samba from Cowboy Bebop. The trippy little frog. Ugh. And now the ghosts are blue. Totally useless fact. Same enemy, they might hit harder, I don't know. They're just as fucking annoying. And then you're gonna run back into this fine gentleman, who's so laughably easy now as to be... he's a disgrace to the enemies in this game. He's there just for you to basically beat on. If you get hit by him, this is one of the few times in Actraiser where it's just unforgivable. You just suck at life. And you get into the castle. These guys you can actually fly over if you so choose, but it's generally worth it to kill them because, well, there's the possibility of getting some of that nice shiny magic that they usually don't love to give you in terms of free items. This game is like the free market system. If you're at the bottom, you have to work for your shit. I guess it's also like communism. The shit that they actually just provide for you isn't anywhere fucking near enough. I have a fuck ton of magic that's probably from splicing all of this together. The amount of magic you get is a bit unpredictable. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. This is where they start ripping off Castlevania. The Axe Knights, and then... oh, it'll get even better. Unlike the Castlevania Axe Knights, these guys actually suck. You can't hit them from the front unless they're throwing their axe at you. You don't want to be standing in front of them when they do that, unless you're ducking. That's the only way you won't get massively fucked as a result. But this is another forgiving level, so long as you have some patience, which I unfortunately usually didn't, then you can get an extra guy. It's not in the most helpful of places, but it is an extra guy. You can't argue with that. And then you down here, just... oh yeah. Health. Do not drop straight down. For some fucking reason, that spike thing that falls, if it falls on the ground, even if you're on top of it, the computer registers 70-foot spikes going up your ass. You will get hurt if that thing hits the ground with you on it. Now here you get a better view of what it's like to just beat the ever-living shit out of that fucker. Give him the pube floss and then move on. And there's a hell of a lot more level, but the rest of the level is reasonably tame. And the final boss, the final boss is more of a laugh. And I have no doubts that if you hit those spikes, you'll die. I, however, did not hit them. Somehow. Usually the game finds a way for you to hit shit. Now you can go up there and you can get an item of some kind, but it usually isn't worth the cost to your body. And spikes will come up down here. I don't remember if I actually saw them in this particular run or not, but spikes do come up this tower. They come up with a certain degree of rapidity if you wait too long. Yep, there they are. For the longest time I didn't know they were there simply because I was going up so quickly. This time I got delayed by the distraction of health, which in this game might as well be a woman's D cups just dangling in front of you. Especially in this game, that might as well be what they are. The only threat out here that you should face at all are the fanged peni. They have returned. And they will just as readily bite your dick off for being inferior to theirs as they did in the Ice Palace. In fact, they prove that you don't have to have a dick to be one. In fact, most of the creatures in this game prove that. Oh, God. That guy wearing his penis on his forehead. And there it is. This is the one and only time in my Actraiser 2 career that I actually was killed by one of those. I did not expect him to be there, and at one point I did run into him. And they do a god-awful amount of damage. I think it's more from the shame of getting bitten by a fanged cock that they do damage than the actual bite itself. There is an item up above the doorway here, if you need it. I think it's health, but I could be wrong. Certainly not an extra guy, and I don't believe it was points. This boss is a really cheap imitation of the wyvern from Actraiser 1, the one on the ice tree. He's so laughably easy if you use your exploding testicle shot. I took a beating just because I knew I could kill him toe-to-toe. You shouldn't have any trouble with him, unless you came without enough lives and life. Because he does hit hard. But just stay on the ground and fuck him up.